Almighty God, who, in thy infinite wisdom and providential goodness, has appointed the offices of rulers and councils for the welfare of society and the just government of man, we beseech thee to behold with thy abundant favor us, thy servants, whom thou hast been pleased to call to the performance of such important trust in the Commonwealth of Dominica. Let thy blessing descend upon us here in this Parliament assembled, and grant that we may, as in thy presence, treat and consider all matters that shall come under our deliberation in so just and faithful a manner as to promote thy honor and glory, and to advance the good of those whose interest thou hast committed to our charge. All which we ask for in the name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. Good morning to the members, to the gallery, and to our camera crew, media. Before we go into the continuation of our debate, I wish to draw to the members' attention something which I heard on the media and which I think I ought to bring to this House and clarify. This, the senator who was the subject of a motion yesterday, I heard him say in the news that the members of the House flouted the rules of the House because Standing Order 23, and I wish members would have their little booklet so that they can look at it. I think he said 23, I think he said 8 or 7. Let me just put my glasses so that I read it properly, if I may. I like to tell myself I can see without them, but that's not the truth. He said that the Standing Order 23, and he said, supposed to ask questions about any matter then pending before any court of justice, or which reflected on the decision of a court of justice. So I presume he must have opened the book on that page, because if he had read the entire Standing Order 23, and if I may ask permission to do so, it reads, the right to ask a question shall be subject to the following general rules, as to the interpretation of which the speaker shall be the sole judge. And it goes A, the proper object of a question, B, a question shall so and so, C, D. And when it reaches G, it says, a question shall not be asked. And it goes Roman small numerals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when you get to 6, it says, about any matter then pending before any court of justice or of a court of justice. Now, yesterday, we were debating motions, were we not? And why anybody would think that a question is a motion, because as far as the standing orders themselves say, they are two separate things. So that a question, and there are many other rules relating to questions. And you know, I can't help saying, but why are they reading question now? Back in 2004, we needed them to have read the questions, because clearly they were not apprised of the provisions of questions then. But anyway, the fact of the matter is, we do have standing orders relating specifically to motions. And these would be standing orders starting with Standing Order 28 and going on to 34 really, okay? So I just want to make it clear to those persons in the House or outside of the House, persons listening to the radio, who heard the senator say that he could not have been dealt with the way he was because of Standing Order 23 couldn't be further from the truth. I think he was absolutely misguided, and I just wanted to let members of the House and those persons in the public who might have heard him say so, the standing order in question that he referred to questions, not to motions. I now declare that debate continues.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I rise there to make my contribution to this debate on the 2014-2015 national budget before this Honorable House. But Madam Speaker, I believe in some forums where people go, they say, well, there's no need for me to talk again because all has been said, because I think it's very, very difficult to have anything more to say after such a budget. But being elected by the people of the Soufriere constituency, Madam Speaker, I must make my contribution. After the Windsor Park or Geneva, maybe the best park in Dominica. So doing justice to it now, Madam Speaker, I think is very, very timely. And then we're hoping that we can get a brand new basketball court for Soufriere, Madam Speaker. But Madam Speaker, in the area of fisheries, we continue to receive, well, we have FADs deployed, and persons who know about the fishing industry would know what the FADs do. Before, people would just go out there, just let go their net or their 20 anywhere. But now you go out there, go to the FADs with the hope that the fishermen come there, they settle in, and that will increase your catch. And we have given assistance in boats, in engines, and even the fisher folk sometimes receive a grant, and then we know it's been complemented by the gas station that was built under this government, Madam Speaker, in Scotland. The National Employment Program, Madam Speaker, has touched the life of over 30 persons in the Soufriere constituency. And coming August, Madam Speaker, we are hoping to have another 15 persons between Soufriere, Scotland, Gallon, and Kwame going to be employed in the beautification and other disciplines, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, under constituency empowerment, the Soufriere village roads received attention. There's an area known as the bourgeois city in Scottsdale called Savon. We have a brand new highway now. And then, as we speak now, we have rehab works going on the Scottsdale basketball court. And we are hoping to see some work commence on the Point Michel basketball court under the Ministry of Constituency Empowerment. But Madam Speaker, while I do not want to go into what has happened in the constituency, Madam Speaker, I think it is worth noting that I've said it before and I'll say it anywhere else I go, that under this Labour Party government which has put most resources in the Soufriere constituency, and the evidence is here to show. We can see the Soufriere city events works, the Point Michel with the honorable work at Champagne, and the work will continue on the housing, on the fisheries, just name it, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, as you know very well that I'm always very short, but let me just say before I close, I want to thank the people of the Soufriere constituency, that is Galion, Point Michel, Scottsdale, and Soufriere, for the support they have given me over the past 4.5 years. But despite my illness, we continue to work, and they continue to work with me. But what I want to leave with us, Madam Speaker, is the party won the Soufriere seat in 2005, over 230 votes. In 2009, the Labour Party won by 137 votes. This time around, Speaker, when the election is called, we will be looking at 650 votes. So for those who have any doubt, Madam Speaker, let me lay it on the table today that I, Sam Martin, will be an integral part of the campaign of the Dominica Labour Party, the Soufriere constituency. we will ensure that the suffragettes will be returned to the DLP to make sure that the team to continue the good work in Dominica, Madam Speaker. So with these heroes, Madam Speaker, I have no hesitation in supporting this budget before the House, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I am most grateful and honored today, Madam Speaker, to have this opportunity to defend this 2014-2015 national budget in the amount of $552,385,356 to include an amount of $62,409,876 provided by law. I want to commend the Prime Minister and the Minister for Finance for so eloquently presenting this budget with compassion, conviction, and authority. Unlike many others, in their quest for leadership, to my mind, appear to live in a bubble. Clearly, the scope and content of this budget demonstrates that the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit and the Dominica Labour Party is on the ground in Dominica. We are on the ground and we feel the pulse of the Dominican people. Madam Speaker, this debate is not only about the merits and demerits of the budget, but it is a debate about the future of Dominica. A debate about the future of our children, men and women. It is a debate about a better quality today and tomorrow for individuals and households, infants, youth, men and women, the elderly, persons living with disabilities, the Kalinago people, pensioners, the business sector, and the unemployed. The development strategy of the Dominica Labour Party is one which starts at the bottom of the pyramid. What do I mean by that? It simply means that we believe that to grow this economy and for this country to prosper effectively, we must be firing on all cylinders. We do not want to be like an engine, you know, some of us who are chauffeurs or who drive a car might know about the experience of having what we commonly call a miss. You lose power and you end up in high operating costs of the vehicle. This budget is a budget of a working government. Labor qu'à travail. While others are loitering in an infested house of parliament, during this term, no less than 30 pieces of legislation were enacted during this period. We enacted legislation to improve or to enhance business. We enacted legislation to have a more enabling environment. We enacted legislation for the modernization of the public service. We enacted legislation for the enhancement of the capacity of law enforcement in every aspect. In this budget, Mr. Speaker, every project and every intervention tells a story. It tells a story about the lives of all Dominican people, whatever age, sex, socio-economic background. We've heard much spoken about this budget, and we are all pleased with the reaction, of course, with a few exceptions. But the reaction from the Dominican people is tremendous. However, I will try to be selective in my discussion about some projects which have been administered under my care as Acting Minister for National Security, Labor and Immigration, but also projects which particularly and broadly affect the lives of the people of Roseau Central. In the Ministry of National Security, Labor and Immigration, we saw in this period the completion of the Granby Police Station at a cost of $3,386,570. Yesterday we heard the representative from Granby mention about the police station, and she remarked about various criticisms of the police station, and some of the criticisms implied that the government had a negative feeling about Granby. But let me say, from the point of view of the Ministry of National Security, the location of the police station in Granby is a strategic one. The police station not only serves Granby proper, but the police station serves the entire district of the South. We saw the completion of the Melville Hall Fire Station, another very important project. Again, we heard mention about the advent of night landing in Dominica and the opportunities and advantages that it provided for travelers, whether business or pleasure, to Dominica. However, to capitalize on that opportunity, it was important that we qualify under certain conditions provided by the appropriate international bodies. And one of that is the necessity to have coverage of the aerodrome area during operation periods. We had a situation where the capacity was limited, and therefore it compromised both the aerodrome as well as the surrounding communities in the Marigot, Wesley area, etc. And therefore the investment of $4+ million was very timely and very strategic to ensure that the other sectors, tourism and business, and of course people interested in pleasure in Dominica can get the opportunity to do so. We heard a lot of complaints about ambulances, and we spent in this period $381,829 on the purchase of new ambulances. But while we speak, we are implementing the border management system. Another critical intervention for business in Dominica You might have heard, Mr. Speaker, that we are able to travel to the United Kingdom for 6 months in the first instance without requiring a visa. That did not obtain previously. And one of the reasons for that is because of concern about the security of our border. And I'm not only speaking here about physical security, I'm speaking about other operational aspects, how the manner in which we issue passports, the manner in which we control our borders, the manner in which we monitor travelers through our immediate borders, as well as the various hubs to which travelers go to, such as Antigua and Barbados. And therefore, because we are able to satisfy the concerns about countries such as Britain and others, we are now in a position where our people can travel to the United Kingdom. Soon, by the way, we hope that in due course that we will be able to do so to the rest of Europe. These negotiations are ongoing. We saw the completion, as we speak also, we have the construction of the La Plaine police station and the Kalibishi police station. Those two police stations, as I said about the Grand Bay police station, are meant to serve the districts in that area. In terms of the capacity of the police force, we've seen the augmentation of the police service from 400 to 500 men on the force. We continue to address the appointments, although we have done so with the prisons. We continue to address the appointments at the fire and ambulance service, and the appointments of further appointments at the prison service is also under review. During this period under consideration, we also received 90 motorcycles from the People's Republic of China, a gift from our friends in the government and People's Republic of China. These motorcycles will allow police officers around Dominica to be more effective, to be first mobile and more effective in terms of the safety and management of the public. Whether you're speaking about traffic, monitoring, or the pursuit of persons in the act of committing a crime, whatever the case might be, it will allow the police to be more effective in that regard. In the Establishment Personnel and Training Department, which also falls under my responsibility, ongoing is the extension of the Public Service Training Center. For those of us who have used that facility, we know that we've had to sit in the corridor occasionally to have meals during the intervals when we have training sessions. The improvement of this center will not only allow proper dining facility, but it also allow for a wider, more capacity for training activities or multiple training activities simultaneously. We also continue the modernization of the public sector modernization program. The Ministry of Trade, Industry and Diaspora Affairs, the Small Business Enterprise Development and the Apprenticeship Program, the Employment Creation and Mentorship Program have all benefited the constituents of Roseau Central. The progress has been slow, but we are very optimistic about the future. As reported by the Minister for Trade, the program was able to provide 700 new placements or new jobs to date. In Roseau, we've had a record of 130 applications. Only 15 placed to date, but we have been reassured that in the coming month we will be placing a further 40. Mr. Speaker, we've heard quite often about the plight of people who end up in situations where they experience unforeseen illness of an extreme kind. Often they are not able to be treated here in Dominica, and they may have to travel. Persons who might have had some significant savings were made poor overnight. Often enough, those diseases include chronic non-communicable diseases. There are a number of other problems that people experience, unforeseen problems. And the public support program has been very instrumental in alleviating the plight of many people, the young, the old, and the not so young. To date, we have an expenditure of $15,703,348 spent in assisting people. The truth about this, Mr. Speaker, had it not been for this program, so unfairly criticized by too many people, many of those persons would have been made to stay in their neck of the woods and fester and probably eventually die. In the Ministry of Education, we hope to see the commencement of Block 3 of the Dominica Grammar School. And I want to extend my gratitude to the Minister for Education to take the initiative and accommodate the continuation of the development of the Dominica Grammar School, which I'm advised, when completed, will accommodate approximately 1,000 students. The Dominica Grammar School Development Project is a part of a wider development program for that area. And we hope to include among that recreational facilities which will complement or support the Dominica Grammar School as well as the wider community. In the Ministry of Housing, Lands and Water Resource Management, there is ongoing the construction of 60 new apartments in the Baffa State area, financed by the People's Republic of China. We've spoken often about the plight of persons living or in transit, working in Roseau and the environs, who are unable to find suitable accommodation because of their own financial situation. Rent in Roseau and environ is prohibitive, and therefore the government of Dominica is taking this initiative to assist those persons, in the first instance with 60 apartment buildings. We hope to continue this program because we believe that the demand, in fact our estimate tells us that the demand is probably 20 times as the available capacity. And therefore, we hope that in due course we will be able to add to this of accommodation in the rural area. The new Princess Margaret Hospital we are also very excited about. Because the health of the people to this party, to this government, is very important. We've heard and listened to many of the complaints around the country, and we have responded. I want to take this opportunity to commend and thank the Ministry of Health to make the investments in the various diagnostic equipment that they've done so far. This is just one iterative step in ensuring that we have a modern 21st century health facility in Dominica, and in Roseau in particular. We are very excited about that. We are also excited and very pleased that many elderly persons who, for various reasons, are not receiving or have not been receiving the care that they deserve. While in many cases it might be for reasons of their own financial and economic situation, in a number of cases, surprisingly and regrettably, it is really a case of abandonment. Now, the Yes We Care program, we are also very, 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 very pleased about, because when I traverse the homes in Roseau and I meet some of these people and I see the transformation in their whole deportment, their whole behavior and their attitude, you could see the effect of this program. Because they have resigned to their faith. They are 60, 70, 80 years old, and they have resigned to their faith. However, life was not so pleasant until the Yes We Care program came along. I also want to say thanks to the Ministry of Culture, Youth Affairs and Sports for coming on board with the Roseau recreational facility. I mentioned a while ago about the development plan for the area of the Dominica Grammar School. Upon full completion, we would have spent approximately $1,968,300 on this program, on this project. For the financial year 2014-2015, $200,000 is allocated for preliminary activity. Upon completion, we expect to see a full regulation-sized football pitch, lighted with sitting facilities and washroom facilities. 2 multi-purpose hard courts, and we intend to have one covered so that we can have all-weather activities in this area. The objective and the purpose of this particular project is to provide amenities both to the Dominica Grammar School and, of course, the community of Roseau. We've had many complaints, although some people do not buy the argument, but we've had many complaints that with the disappearance of the Windsor Park, that you find teams from very far away who previously could not play football and now beating teams in Roseau. I'm not sure it is because of the disappearance of the Windsor Park or what, but anyway, we take the responsibility to fix that problem, so we hope that the argument will not persist in the future. From the Ministry of Tourism and Legal Affairs, we really look forward to the Roseau River Promenade and the Roseau Vendors Mall. The Roseau River Promenade, along with many other interventions in Roseau, will, first of all, improve the aesthetics of Roseau. But it will also provide modern amenities in the Roseau River bank area for recreation as well as small business, because we hope upon completion, we expect upon completion that we will have various types of business activities providing services in restaurants and other such activities. We know of the complaints about the arrangements for vending, particularly to visitors from the tourist boats or the tourist ship. And this has been said to be a problem in terms of the quality of our tourism product in Dominica. Upon completion of the vendors mall, we hope that one, we will have an improved product, but we will also have much increased opportunities for persons involved in the vending business, as well as persons who intend to seek opportunities in that activity. In his presentation of the budget address, we heard the Prime Minister refer to the Roseau Enhancement Project. Like some of the other projects I mentioned, the Roseau Enhancement Project is one of is a sub-program of the overall urban renewal program of the government of Dominica. But at this time, the government of Dominica is focusing on Portsmouth and Roseau. The project will include the improvement of the roadway, sidewalks, utilities, as well as parking. It will include the construction of a tourist information center, and of course, the purpose is to improve traffic management, improve the aesthetics of the city, but also to attract investments into the city of Roseau. We believe with the city as it is, there are too many constraints on attracting needed investment in the city, and this we hope will be resolved with the Roseau Enhancement Project. But there are other things that have been happening in Roseau. Throughout this term, many children, young people, have received education assistance. We provide education assistance for school books, uniform, meals, school fees, and other needed items. The beneficiaries include pupils in primary school, of course, preschool, secondary school, and the Dominica State College. Most recently, the government of Dominica has formalized the education grant assistance program in support of the needed students who attend or who intend to go to the Dominica State College. And the residents of Roseau Central have benefited immensely from this initiative. I want to give my gratitude also to the Ministry for Housing. During this period, over 60 families have received assistance, individuals and families have received assistance in housing renovation and construction to the tune of approximately $325,000. We've had interventions to assist persons who have not had proper bathroom facilities in their lives. And for the first time, they have been made to enjoy the comfort and convenience of such a facility. We look forward to the continuation of this program, which is a big idea of the Prime Minister. And incidentally, the United Nations, though ridiculed by some persons, the United Nations did recognize the need for the replacement of pit toilets as a need for alleviating poverty and improving the health of people in various parts of the world. Under community-based projects administered by the Ministry for Constituency Empowerment and Information. As we speak, the renovation of the Bath Road basketball court is taking place. We will have an improved surface, a more enhanced environment for recreation and playing basketball. It will be lighted, and upon completion, we hope to spend in the region of $126,000 for this project. And we also had the construction of a couple communal bathrooms in the program of the community-based projects. Many persons in Roseau are living in what some persons call tenement yards, or, Mr. Speaker, kuwe. Unfortunately, I'm not sure if there's a translation for that. I don't know, alleys, but you understand what I mean. And many of those persons have no bathroom facilities. And you can well imagine the implications for the health conditions and the comfort of those persons. And through the Ministry of Constituency Empowerment, we have been able to provide some comfort to those persons, and we continue to do so. You might have seen that the pupils of the Roseau Primary School are walking around with their heads high and walking around proudly. One of the supporting activities in a wider program of uplifting the school and raising the heads of the pupils of that school is an intervention that was made again within the Ministry of Constituency Empowerment for the purchase of new uniforms at the cost of $11,000. I want to take this opportunity to commend Ms. Greta Roberts and the staff of that school for their tremendous effort in transforming the lives of the pupils who attend that school. Many of these pupils come from what we call disadvantaged backgrounds. And I'm willing to bet that had it not been for the support, one, of the government of Dominica, through the parliamentary representative, the Prime Minister, through the public support program, and the efforts of Ms. Greta Roberts and her staff, the lives of these pupils would have been totally different. And a clear indication of that, for the first time last year, that school got bursaries. This year, they receive scholarships and an increased number of passes. And I believe for the third consecutive year, this primary school has gotten the accolade of being the most improved primary school in Dominica. In the Roseau Central area, we hope to continue some new initiatives, or to commence some new initiatives in the Roseau Central area in collaboration with the National Employment Program. With support from the Housing Division and the Youth Division, we hope to develop skills of young persons in construction, thereby providing employment in the construction and the renovation of new homes. We at this time have in our file applications probably in the amount, in the excess of $1 million. That even if, or even through meeting half of this demand, we can have an effect of not only improving housing, but also providing employment and improving the skills of the young persons who might be so inclined in the constituency. As we speak, the structure and the format of this program is being pursued. In the Roseau City Council, we'll also be providing some support to improve the capacity of the Roseau City Council sanitation department. In so doing, we expect to increase employment by about 8 or 10 persons. I'm of the view, I have the vision, that the city of Roseau supposed on every given morning to demonstrate readiness and to convey to the rest of the country that we open for business. And therefore, the preparation aspect must be demonstrated by the workers of the City Council, and therefore we need to enhance the capacity to do that. Whether we're talking about brush cutting of the sidewalks, washing down the drains, and regular sweeping on a daily basis of the streets of Roseau. Unfortunately, because of the non-payment of the dues by various persons in and around Roseau, the Roseau City Council has been experiencing a financial crisis. And I would like to take this opportunity to call on those persons who have outstanding payments to the City Council to make good those payments. However, in the interim, we will seek to support the Roseau City Council in that regard. Because the effect of that problem has been that the Roseau City Council has been operating a follow system whereby they only work 3 days a week. Now, while I appreciate that much more could be done, there is a problem, and the demand of the Roseau City Council is much out of their existing capacity. I want to turn to the whole question of fiscal incentives. This is one part of the budget which has created the most reaction. I believe it has created the most reaction because for the beneficiaries, it is a very exciting intervention. But for the naysayers, I think it has touched their sensibilities in terms of their own aspirations. Without going through a lot of the discussions relating to those interventions, I just want to run through them. The removal of VAT on service charge has been seen previously as prohibitive and rendering the hotel sector uncompetitive. Improved efficiency in the clearing of courier packages. Revenue foregone in that regard is approximately $435,000. Reduction duties on computers. What that means for students and small businesses. Relief for persons of pensionable age. The member from Soufriere has expounded on the subject, and many other members have spoken about the subject. And there are persons in our country who, even if they might have worked, fall below that margin to be eligible for any kind of benefit. And as the member for Soufriere indicated, that even if that you might be in receipt of some kind of pension, particularly from the Social Security, you might not, you will end up qualifying for the benefit provided by this intervention. Imagine that having worked all your life, you're in receipt of $36 a week or $36 a fortnight, whatever that might be. We saw the proposal of the introduction or the reduction of corporate tax over a two-year period. The total reduction in the second year will be 5%, but we will do it at intervals or in stages of 2 and 3%. This, we hope, will go a long way in supporting the business sector in Dominica. Increase in the mortgage allowance. The average the cost of building homes nowadays have increased. And therefore, many persons, as a result of the cost of construction, have sort of, lost significant benefit because of the existing threshold. By increasing the mortgage allowance from $15,000 to $25,000, there will be much more benefit for persons involved in home construction. This initiative, as indicated, as stated before, will go a long way in supporting and meeting the objectives of the housing revolution. The increase of tax allowance from $20,000 to $25,000. The government of Dominica will be foregoing approximately $5,300,000 in that measure. And of course, we know of the zero rating on Pampers and wipes, sanitary wipes. But I think all of these measures have their respective benefits. But I think the important thing that we have to come away from this house with is that these incentives can convert into approximately $10 million. In other words, we can understand it to mean that the government is effectively putting $10 million back into the economy. By foregoing these revenues, we are relieving people, but also providing opportunities for business. All things considered, this budget is a remarkable budget. Why do I say that? Dominica is a small island developing state with all the associated problems, structural problems, problems of size, population, problems of structure, and limited critical mass. We also have a situation in the wider global economy where we have a financial problem which started in 2008, though showing some signs of recovery. The amount of growth doesn't allow for any legitimate or any hope for legitimate opportunities for the kind of growth that we would like. That is why I am dumbfounded when people come to the Dominican people, when certain persons come to the Dominican people and offer 8% growth and 5,000 jobs in, 3 years. To grow an economy, it means that you have to increase the value of your goods and services. It means, therefore, if we have to take the ideas of those persons on board, our demand in Dominica, our consumption would have to grow, almost exponentially. So if we put that one out of the window, then it means we have to export. But the consumers in the global economy, the demand of consumers in the global economy has reduced. We know that. It has become a fact of life for us. Tourism is suffering. Other areas are suffering. Investment is suffering because demand is down. However, because the government of Dominica had the vision, the courage, and the foresight to do what we did back in 2002, we have laid a fiscal platform, we have laid a platform guided by fiscal discipline, supported and complemented by our foreign policy. So the fact that we are able to stick within certain fiscal objectives, not send home anybody, and still provide opportunities for persons who are constrained, whether you're doing business or whether you're an elderly or whatever is your station in life, this budget has offered relief and or opportunities to you. And that is why we can only refer to these budgets by this government as ingenious and creative. I want to come back to the NEP, because many persons, I believe, misunderstand the NEP. The NEP, someone said a while ago, this morning in fact, that it is a political ploy. The NEP, as we speak, or various forms of the NEP as we speak, are being considered by many countries the world over. And I believe there are versions of it in various parts of the world. Even countries that are economically and financially better off than us. But here we have a situation that many employers would like to take on more people. They would like to increase their capacity, their human resource capacity. But they do not have the wherewithal to do it. Because, of course, as they say, you know, things are a little slow. So, through the NEP, the government of Dominica is providing that opportunity to those employers. But on the other hand, there are persons at home who either qualified, not so qualified, dropouts, you know, the persons in different situations who are not able, for one reason or the other, to enter the labor market. So therefore, the NEP provides them that opportunity, through which they will get, in the first instance, an income, secondly, experience, and hopefully, as we have seen is beginning to happen, that those placements will be converted into permanent employment. And the response to the NEP has only been positive. And I can say it is a very creative intervention and a remarkable one by the government of Dominica. At this time, I would like to, after saying so much wonderful things about the budget, I think it is important that we recognize the persons involved, or the various sectors involved. We've heard the criticism that, you know, the budget of the government of Dominica is a one-man show. You know, I even heard that we were putting things in at the last minute, which is laughable. But what I can say, this budget, one of the reasons for its success, it is because the process has been consultative. So therefore, I want to commend the Prime Minister and Minister for Finance for his leadership. Of course, the staff of the Ministry of Finance and all the other ministries. The cooperation and the recommendations coming from the various sectors. The DHTA, Dominica Association of Industry and Commerce, and all the others for their efforts in making this budget the success that it is. Mr. Speaker, in 2009, I responded to a call from the people of Roseau Central to serve the constituency. I left a job where I had worked after 23 years, very rewarding activity, and I headed to I left a job to serve. I did not get involved in politics in order to look for a job. I want to say also that this time, this era, is scary time and is labor time. I want to thank God for the grace of having the opportunity to witness or to bear witness to that era. In 2009, we did not achieve the desired results, but neither did the people of Roseau Central receive the expected representation from the official PAL. We have been burdened with a parliamentary representative who insulted the people's intelligence and abdicated his responsibility by wasting time in a so-called people's parliament. Exactly the time of, and that is why he scampered to the house on the occasions that by-elections were called. I'm afraid he will not have the opportunity next time. But I also want to say that the member does not have neither moral authority to recommend anybody to the people of Roseau. But we will deal with that perspective at the right time. In November 2009, I asked the people of Roseau to work with me in a quest to develop a city, a clean city, to transform the city of Roseau into a viable economic space, to have a city which is the envy of all who dwell and visit in it. I promised that we would develop the arts and culture of the people in the city, much improved recreational facilities, and of course, as we're doing through the Roseau Enhancement Program, to attract investment into the city to improve employment, income, and the well-being of all the people of Roseau. I promised the young people that I, along with the Dominica Labour Party government, will take them from the lazy bench to the workbench. And that is what we are doing. This objective is rapidly being realized before their eyes. And I want to say to them, there are better things to come. This government is a government that works from the ground up. It is a government that is ready, willing, and able. It is a government that is committed and sincere. The last 4 years have borne evidence to that fact. I would like to leave this for your consideration so that you can address this at the opportunity. Mr. Speaker, I reiterate my support and my defense of this remarkable budget. I want to say that this budget is yet another step in taking Dominica to the next level. It is another step in advancing the well-being of the people of Dominica. And I have every hope that the people of Dominica will continue to provide the support to this government because they have the assurance, I believe they have the confidence that this government will deliver as we have done over the years, and we will continue to do so in the future. I thank you.
Mr. Speaker, Labour ka travail. That is to say, Labour is working. Let me take the opportunity, Mr. Speaker, to firstly recognize the residents of the St. Joseph constituency who have pledged their confidence in me to represent them here in the Parliament of Dominica. And this constituency consists of the communities of Layu, Meru, Bells, and St. Joseph. And I am certain, Mr. Speaker, in no uncertain terms, that over the last 4.5 years, I have represented the entire constituency with a level of pride, dignity, and a responsibility that I have not taken for granted. It is also important, Mr. Speaker, to recognize the fact that whenever persons elect you to be a member of Parliament, you have to take this responsibility seriously and ensure, Mr. Speaker, that you do not take the people for granted. And this is why, Mr. Speaker, I would like to pledge my full support to the bill before the House for debate for the approval of the 2014-2015 Appropriation Act of 2014. All in an effort, Mr. Speaker, to show the Dominican people that this Labour Party administration means business. Permit me to also commend the Honorable Prime Minister for his leadership, his commitment, his dedication, and his tremendous skill in articulating the budget presentation on Wednesday of this week. Clearly, Mr. Speaker, we have in the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit a leader who is in tune, a leader who is aware as to the current situation and realities facing the Dominican people and the world by extension. Because to have presented a budget of such in a time like this is in fact, Mr. Speaker, a budget for the people and a budget that the people will benefit tremendously from. Mr. Speaker, this budget speaks volumes. It speaks volumes of the efforts of the Labour Party administration in bringing relief and in understanding the challenges that are currently facing the average Dominican citizen. And that is important, Mr. Speaker. To be in a leadership position and to be unaware as to the challenges that are confronting the Dominican people you cannot have answers to these challenges. But this Labour Party administration continues to demonstrate, in no uncertain terms, an understanding of the challenges facing the world over, and Dominica in particular. And that is why this budget has been crafted the way it has been. That is why we can recognize the masterful presentation that came out of his budget. Because it, in fact, Mr. Speaker, is a budget for the people. As a government, we witness in no uncertain terms the importance of prudent fiscal management. And the Dominican people cannot take for granted that at this juncture, this crucial juncture in our country's history, we cannot place the finances of our country in the hands of lazy, incompetent, irresponsible, disgruntled men and women. We cannot take that chance, Mr. Speaker. And I believe whenever the elections are called, the Dominican people will bring back to government the Dominica Labour Party led by the Honorable Roosevelt Scarrett. Because yesterday, Mr. Speaker, was a clear indication as to the incompetence, the laissez-faire attitude of the opposition. Because when you listened to the member for Salisbury, the leader of the opposition, speak, you could have clearly seen, Mr. Speaker, that he was a lost man. He was trying to clutch onto a straw, but unfortunately, there was no straw for him to hold on to. There was nothing for him to hold on to. Because when he had to come to this parliament and present a rebuttal to a budget, there was nothing that he could say. Because on Tuesday night, Madam Speaker, he had his bowl of popcorn at the Arab House of Culture, listening to his political leader. Yes, that's where he was. Sitting at the Arab with his bowl of popcorn, watching a show taking place in front of him. But unfortunately, Madam Speaker, the leader of the opposition has been made politically incompetent. And he will go down in the history books of Dominica. And I would like it to be recorded in the hands of the Parliament that the leader of the opposition, the member for the Salisbury constituency, will go down in the history books of Dominica as the most incompetent, lazy leader of the opposition ever to sit in this Parliament. And it is a shame. It is an indictment on the people of the Salisbury constituency, because these are hard-working people. And to have a parliamentary representative come to this house and present such gibberish, one has to ask themselves the question, is this guy serious? But, Madam Speaker, he doesn't know better, and of course, he has to follow his incompetent leader, the political leader of the Workers' Party. And, Madam Speaker, I came here this morning to officially welcome the senator from St. Joseph. To officially welcome her. Because the people of St. Joseph do not know her. For the last 28 years, 29 years of her life, she has been sleeping in the community. And she was right when she came out with her first speech, her poetry, and said, "I rise." She was right. Because she has been sleeping in the community for the last 28 years of her life. Not been involved in anything, not been participating in anything in the community. And so she was right. But, Madam Speaker, I came here to welcome her to Parliament. She challenged me to a debate. And this is the place where you have to come to debate. And I came here expecting to hear from her. But she has walked out of the Parliament. And if you are not even elected and you have walked out, you have turned your back already on the people of St. Joseph, this is the same attitude that you're going to demonstrate. So what are you telling the people of St. Joseph? Here is Kelvadaru in Parliament, waiting for you to debate him, but you are not here. But I would like to send a strong message to her, Madam Speaker. If she wants to meet me on the back street in St. Joe, if she wants to meet me on the Mon, if she wants to meet me in Sayas, if she wants to meet me in Kubawi, if she wants to meet me in Church Lane, tell her I will be there and waiting to debate her anytime, any day. But you see, Madam Speaker, we are a focused government. We are a government that is in tune to what the people say. And that is why, in spite of the global challenges that we are facing, Madam Speaker, the world over, this Labour Party administration, in this 2014-2015 financial year, we have not cut off any of our social programs. And that is important. Because we understand, Madam Speaker, that the vulnerable, the challenged ones, they will always form part of our society. And as a government that is caring, as a government that is understanding, as a government that is focused, we have to continue to provide for the vulnerable and less fortunate among us. This is our responsibility, Madam Speaker. And we have taken upon our shoulders this responsibility to bring relief to the Dominican people. And that is why, Madam Speaker, through the Yes We Care program, a program that was implemented through the caring heart of the Prime Minister, which touches directly the lives of the elderly who are unable to take care of themselves or who do not have relatives to take care of them. This government instituted this program to ensure that we can take care of these vulnerable people, Madam Speaker, our elderly. This program will continue in the next financial year. And initially, Madam Speaker, very important, when this program kick-started, it was from funds that was received from the government of Libya. But now, the government of Dominica is fully responsible for the recurrent cost that this program, the Yes We Care program, is now undergoing. This is a caring government. We have the bus transportation program, Madam Speaker. This program has benefited several communities across the island, particularly our students who attend secondary school and primary schools at the various schools across the country. And in my constituency, Bells in particular, this program has really alleviated the plight of the parents and the families here in this community. Because one can understand the financial burden that it can have on a family with 3-4 children to send to school in Roseau, having to come all the way from Bells on a daily basis, Madam Speaker. And through this bus transportation program, we have been able to ease the burden of these parents and to leave that money in their pockets where they can use it for other purposes. And this program, Madam Speaker, will continue in this financial year. I can also speak, Madam Speaker, of chances. This is a home that takes care of the children who have been abused, those who may not have a proper home. And the government established this house down at Jimit, where these children are being cared for. They are being sent to school. And all of the recurrent costs of chances is being taken care of by this Labour Party administration. And I'm sure when my colleague, the Minister of Social Services, gets the opportunity to speak, she will highlight more of the things which take place at Chances, a home for our children. The Papa's Allowance, Madam Speaker, another for social program. this program will continue in this financial year. And it was this Labour Party administration which increased funds to ensure that more of the needy individuals in our society can have this allowance used to pay their bills, to buy some groceries, and to help maintain themselves. This is a caring government, Madam Speaker. We've just had, just a few weeks ago, the results from the National Assessment exams, what was known before as the Common Entrance. And we have put a system in place to ensure that the students who are making the transition from primary school to the secondary school can receive a school transfer grant of $500. And that is the work of a caring government. And this will continue again, Madam Speaker, in this financial year. And Madam Speaker, I wanted to highlight these social programs because a lot of times there are individuals who take these things for granted and who say, oh, the government must do it. But no. Because clearly, Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister has always said that he would prefer to put on hold any infrastructural program or project to ensure that we continue to have these social programs going. And this is a leader who is visionary, who is empathetic, and who is caring, and a party by extension, for the needs of the average Dominican citizen, Madam Speaker. And that is important. Madam Speaker, permit me to draw your attention to page 37 of the budget presentation. And I believe, Madam Speaker, the item that is highlighted on this page, which deals with the relief and the allowance for individuals of pensionable age who do not receive a pension, is of utmost importance. It is, Madam Speaker, and I'll tell you why. There are several individuals across this country who have worked tirelessly, diligently in building their communities across the country, and they are not in a position to receive a pension from the state, simply because they have not worked for the state or they have not met the required time period that they would have received a pension. And I'll give an example. There is a place in Bells called Stone Hill. For those of you who have never been to Bells, there's a place in Bells called Stone Hill, Dr. Darrow. And whenever I go to Bells and I go to Stone Hill, I am quite impressed with an elderly couple. They are farmers. And at their age, Madam Speaker, they still continue to toil the soil to produce the dasheen in abundance. They still continue to work hard at their age, Madam Speaker. And when I visit this couple in Stone Hill up in Bells, and to see how hard that they are working, Madam Speaker, and having to sell their produce to the hucksters or to the vendors at the market. And at this age, Madam Speaker, they are not receiving any pension, simply because they have been farmers all their lives. And I believe this government, by implementing this program, will have impacted significantly on the lives of these people. Significantly, Madam Speaker. Because the allowance that they would receive would go a long way in assisting them to either pay their bills or to provide them with some additional assistance that they require on their farms. And that is important. And I believe this measure, Madam Speaker, is testament that the Labour Party administration is in tune with what is happening across the country. We have not been asleep. We have not been asleep, Madam Speaker. But we have been going through the nooks and the crannies of this country, meeting the Dominican people, understanding the challenges that they are facing, and then providing the policies and the guidelines that will impact directly on making their lives better. This is a caring government, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, on page 36 of the budget presentation, we see again a measure that will be implemented to reduce the import duty from 5% and the customs service charge of 3% on computers. Again, this is another critical area, because we are now in the technology age. And before, Madam Speaker, to have had a computer at your home would have been a luxury. But now every home probably has a computer or two. And we understand that to ease that burden on the Dominican people, we took a deliberate decision as a government to remove the import duty of 5% on computers and the customs service charge of 3%, so that the average Dominican citizen, when they receive a computer, would not have that burden. And that is important. And that is why, Madam Speaker, while I am on this, again, as a government who understands, we also took a deliberate decision to implement free Wi-Fi at the Dominica State College. Free Wi-Fi. Because we understand that the students who attend the State College, they have their smartphones, they have their tablets, and they would need access to the internet to do their research, to go on the social networks, whatever the case may be. And we've provided this medium, Madam Speaker, at the State College to allow our Dominican students to have free access to Wi-Fi. And that is a first. And some people take these things for granted. Some people take these things for granted. But we have to understand, Madam Speaker, that the Labour Party administration is on the ground. We are listening. And when we take decisions, these decisions are taken because we listen to the Dominican people, Madam Speaker. And we will continue to do so. Madam Speaker, in the area of information technology, provisions has been made to the tune of $200,000 for the implementation of ICT Center of Excellence. We are at an advanced stage of this, Madam Speaker, where we will be utilizing one of the wings of All State College to have that Center of Excellence for ICT implemented. And $200,000 has been provided for to ensure that we can provide the requisite skills and training for our Dominican people, particularly our young people who are ICT savvy, who want to become more technical in the area of ICT and develop their skills. We will be providing the training right here in Dominica. And we are making an investment again of $200,000 to have that Center of Excellence developed here in Dominica, Madam Speaker. And the Ministry of Information Technology, together with the Ministry of Telecoms, will be coordinating efforts to ensure, Madam Speaker, that we can have that enterprise operational. And all of these things that I'm alluding to, Madam Speaker, are programs and policies that we are putting in place for young people. And last evening, you heard the Minister of Youth Affairs speak so proudly as to the achievements of the Ministry of Youth. And if there are individuals in this society who want to say that the government is not doing anything for young people, they are not sure in which society in Dominica they are from or live in. Because here in this budget, there are several programs and plans that will impact directly on the lives of the Dominican youth. And I also like to underscore, Madam Speaker, the indoor sporting facility. And I must speak to this, simply because I am a sportsman myself, Madam Speaker. And again, one has to understand that when the Prime Minister evaluated the situation across the country, listened to the young sports personalities, the sporting organizations and bodies, we as a government recognized the need, Madam Speaker, to develop an indoor sporting facility that would cater to the young men and women who play basketball, who play netball, who play volleyball, and the likes. Because the challenge and the cry has always been, Madam Speaker, when the sporting organizations have organized their tournaments at various localities across the country, and then you have a downpour of rain, then you're unable to play these games in the rain. But we have listened again. We have taken note. And in this financial year, provisions are being made to start the process, Madam Speaker, of having an indoor facility erected here in the country at Stock Farm. And that is important. And I am sure across the country, all of the young men and women who are engaged in these sporting disciplines, they will welcome this facility. But more importantly, Madam Speaker, it will also have tremendous impact on Dominica being able to receive games from regional tournaments, and I dare go as far as saying international tournaments. Because we have seen the transformation, Madam Speaker, that the Windsor Park Sports Stadium has made on our country by providing the opportunity for international cricket and regional football matches to be played at that stadium. And I believe, Madam Speaker, that this indoor sporting facility will have a similar impact to ensure that Dominica can receive regional tournaments, and we can have a facility that will shield us from the weather. All this, Madam Speaker, is geared at our young people. Madam Speaker, I want to move now to some of the achievements that has taken place throughout the St. Joseph constituency over the last 4.5 years, before I proceed to what we expect to achieve over the next couple of years. And I recall in 2009, when I was elected as a Member of Parliament for St. Joseph, I was humbled by that, Madam Speaker. Simply because the St. Joseph constituency is a very dynamic constituency, a very diverse constituency. It is a constituency that has tremendous potential in every sector, whether it's tourism, whether agriculture, whether sports, whether culture, and the list can go on. And very importantly, Madam Speaker, from day one, I did not sit back and relax, but I had to ensure that the residents of the entire constituency, their needs were met and satisfied. And that is why in 2010, one of the first things that the constituency received was to have a branch of the fire and ambulance service placed in the community of St. Joseph. And this has served the community and the West Coast by extension very well. Because, Madam Speaker, in times past, we would have to wait on an ambulance from Roseau to come to attend to an emergency in St. Joseph. But that no longer happens. Because right in the community, we have a branch of the fire and ambulance service which caters to the needs of persons who have emergencies or if there are accidents in the area and the West Coast by extension. And that has gone on well in the community. Very well, Madam Speaker. Never was that done in the community before. And it took the parliamentary representative to ensure that St. Joseph got a branch of the fire ambulance in the community. Madam Speaker, the health center. We saw a complete rehabilitation of the St. Joseph Health Center to the tune of $250,000. This health center had never received that kind of attention. And again, Madam Speaker, Power Rep had to go in there and to ensure that the St. Joe Health Center received that attention, where we saw a complete overhaul of the health center, and now it is a more conducive place. And I must commend Nurse Coffee and the health team for the tremendous work that they do on a daily basis to bring efficient health services, not only to St. Joseph, but to the entire health district that they serve. And that is important, Madam Speaker. Every school in my constituency has received some form of assistance. We've seen a complete transformation of the Caleb John Laura Primary School, where we have spent in excess of $60,000 to have an early childhood center set up at that school, and a new kitchen as well installed, completely rehabilitated at the Caleb John Laura Primary School. The ITSS, the Isaiah Thomas Secondary School, over $60,000 was spent to have the school repainted and to improve the ambience so that students and teachers can have a better environment to learn. The St. Joseph Seventh Adventist School, we saw the repainting of that school. Computers being made available, Madam Speaker, to that school. And just recently, a donation was made to that school in excess of $13,000 to have brand new furniture at that school when the new school year commences in September. And in Bells, at the Bells Primary School. When I became the Power Rep, I had to ensure that a new kitchen was set up at the Bells Primary School. The yard was paved because where the students were running and playing, it was not conducive. And that has been done, Madam Speaker. The repainting of that school as well. All in an effort to ensure that the students of the Bells Primary School can have a better learning environment. And Madam Speaker, in the area of disaster relief and response, we recall quite clearly the collapse of the Mathieu Dam and Tropical Storm Ophelia and the impact that it had on the communities of Layou and the St. Joseph. The Mathieu Dam collapsed at about 12 midnight, Madam Speaker. And the Power Rep wasn't asleep. He was out there. This government wasn't asleep. Because when I called the Minister of Public Works, when I called my good friend Dr. Darrow at 2 o'clock in the morning, they came out. They came out. This government wasn't asleep when the Mathieu Dam collapsed. They came out and they were there. We were there on the scene. Ensuring, Madam Speaker,
you have 3 minutes left.
Madam Speaker, I move that the Honorable Daru be given 20 more minutes to continue.
Second, Madam Speaker.
It has been moved and seconded that the member for St. Joseph be given a further 20 minutes. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. Please continue.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. So, Madam Speaker, I was saying that we responded in quick time. We provided assistance to the farmers who now have to take an alternate route to access the farms. We replaced the center portion of the York Valley Bridge to a tune of $250,000. We went into Layu and ensured that the women who were displaced, the fishermen who were displaced, they received assistance. And again, my colleague, Dr. Daru, through his Ministry of Fisheries, we provided them with assistance and relief. And in St. Joseph, when Ophelia wrecked through the community, again, in quick time, we assisted the residents of this community, Madam Speaker. And we saw the erection of river walls that were never before done in the community of St. Joseph. We saw that, Madam Speaker, all in an effort to bring back the community to what it was. And we'll continue to work diligently to ensure that we can continue to provide for the residents of the community. But Madam Speaker, moving forward, in this new financial year, 2014-2015, tremendous emphasis will be placed on the constituency of St. Joseph. And we will see at the Bells Primary School again, an additional classroom will be constructed to the tune of $120,000. The scholarship program will continue, the Layu Titiwi Scholarship. This program and scholarship program was implemented by myself as a power rep, walking into the community of Layu and seeing a need to assist the parents who had challenges in sending their children to school. And again this year, we will see the recipients of that scholarship. The uniform and textbook program will continue, where the parents will receive uniform assistance, textbooks, and other stationery items for the children to go to school. The resource center in St. Joseph, we spent $10,000 to have it back on its feet. And now we have ongoing programs and training right here in St. Joseph. So no longer does a student or a young person from St. Joseph have to leave the community and go to Roseau to get computer skills. The power rep has brought it right there in the community. Right there. And the classes are free of charge, Madam Speaker. Free of charge. All the young people have to do is register for the classes, and the classes are right there at the resource center in St. Joseph, impacting directly on the lives of the young people. And we've had several other training programs in pastry making, in sewing, and the list goes on, in the community of St. Joseph, targeting our young women to give them a skill to develop them. And these training programs will continue in this financial year. Through the National Employment Program, we have seen over 50 young people from the constituency being engaged, whether for the private, the public sector, or for the community-based projects, Madam Speaker. And that is important because we ensure that we provide an avenue to have our young people employed. And this program has an agricultural component to it. And in the community of Mero, that is where that program was launched. And it was through the direct efforts of the parliamentary representative, ensuring that the young farmers of Mero could have an opportunity to get the assistance that they required for their farms. And I must say, Madam Speaker, they are doing a tremendous job. And that is where the program was launched, the agricultural component of the NEP. It was launched in Mero. And we have seen the impact that it has had on the community. And so, Madam Speaker, in the area of small business, we made available funds to the St. Joseph Village Council to assist existing businesses and new businesses. And all in an effort to ensure that we can improve on the lives of the residents of the community. We saw the establishment of the Bell Summers Group. And again, we made available as a government monies to that group, and on a regular basis provide fertilizer and other inputs so that the farmers of Bells can benefit from this assistance and they can have more production being made available from their farms, Madam Speaker. In Hillsborough Gardens, 30 houses have been allocated. Families are now raising their children there, Madam Speaker, in a conducive environment. We made these houses available, and now we have begun the process of making additional lands available to the residents of St. Joseph and environs at Hillsborough Gardens. This, to me, is the modern St. Joseph. But not only that, as the power rep, I had to ensure that the infrastructure was put in place. The street lights, the drains were done to a tune of over $200,000. The roads at Hillsborough Gardens were done. And we had contractors from the community of St. Joseph who did these works, Madam Speaker, and engaged the young people from the community on these projects. And we are missing a portion of the entrance to complete. And you can read, Madam Speaker, that the works to complete the entrance of that portion of road to Hillsborough Gardens will commence next week, Thursday. The works will complete, and you can read my lips on that, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, in Layu again, we have a tourism center and facility that was constructed. And again, as a part, I pushed for these things. And the Layu Improvement Committee doing a tremendous job with the Titui Festival. And we have supported this festival from its inception. And we'll continue to support the Titui Festival in the community of Layu. And Mero, leaders in community tourism, the best beach on the island. We have ensured that we have done the village road in Mero to enhance the ambience of the community. And in this financial year, we'll provide additional support to the small businesses and other businesses in the community of Mero. Right. And provide more assistance to the Mero Enhancement Committee. All in an effort, Madam Speaker, to heighten the tourism awareness in the community. Because these communities, they depend on tourism, Mero and Layu. And we will work in an effort to ensure that these communities are kept clean and that the villagers are engaged, because it is theirs. It is their product, Madam Speaker, and they have to manage it properly. So we'll continue to work with them in that. In the area of sports development, we will place focus and emphasis on several sporting facilities throughout the constituency. The Mero playing field, the Bells playing field, the St. Joseph playing field and hard courts. All of these will receive attention, Madam Speaker, in this financial year. And I must commend at this time my team, who have worked along with me to have a very vibrant St. Joe Football League going on right now in the community. The hard-working young men and women. And yesterday, they were engaged in cleaning the field after the heavy rains. And I must commend them for that. Working tirelessly up to 8 o'clock in the night to ensure that the field can be kept clean so that the league can continue after the heavy rains. But they also have the assurance that we will effect a storm drain from the St. Joseph Highway leading on to the St. Joseph playing field so that that water can be controlled, and in the future it will not make its way onto the playing field. So a proper storm drain will be effected, Madam Speaker, to alleviate that situation. How can I not mention the Bells water supply? The contract has already been signed to a tune of $4.5 million that will provide water to the communities of Bells, Penrise, Port-Cassé. 2 storage tanks will be constructed, a 45,000-gallon tank and a 30,000-gallon tank. The government of Dominica has placed tremendous emphasis to ensure that every community in Dominica can have pipe-borne water, potable water at their homes. And Bells is the last area that this has to be accomplished. And in this financial year, we will see the commencement of works on the Bells water supply that will serve the communities of Bells, Penrise, and Port-Cassé, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we are now at an advanced stage to commence work on the rehabilitation of the Layu Valley area. that is from the Hillsborough Bridge up to the Roseau Bridge. We recall this area was impacted by the collapse of the Martyrdom, and now we are in a position, Madam Speaker, to begin the works on this area in this financial year, as well as the construction of a disaster and community shelter for the community of Layo. All of this in an effort to provide a facility where the community can have social programs and the training programs, as well as a disaster shelter during the hurricane season, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we'll continue to provide further assistance to the farmers throughout the constituency. That is why we have spent in excess of $400,000 throughout the constituency on farm access roads in Petit Marcoucherie, in Bells, in Mero, Cuba. All of these areas have received some level of assistance on their farm roads. But we are quite aware, Madam Speaker, that we have a much bigger program under the banner accompanying measures that will in fact see the complete rehabilitation of the Mero Cuba Road, the Atlee Road, and several other roads throughout the constituency, because this constituency continues to be one of the major farming belts in the country. Madam Speaker, I must speak again for Bells, where we have begun a process of lighting up the community and providing street lights. And in this financial year, we'll see an additional 20 street lights being placed in the communities of Bells, in the community of St. Joseph, and in Mero as well. All of these communities will receive additional street lighting, and that is important to ensure the safety of residents while walking during the night. Again, in the community of Bells, 2 new bridges will be put in place in the Glogome area. We now have 2 wooden bridges, and they have served their time, Madam Speaker. But through the Ministry of Public Works, we will ensure that these 2 bridges are replaced with the ballet bridges, and it will be easier access to the farmers to their farms in the wet area community of Bells. Madam Speaker, I must speak of Lot 2 of the Airport Road, because again, this is a very important project, and it is nearing completion at its latter stages. And I believe, Madam Speaker, when the member for Roseau Central, he stood in Parliament and he criticized Lot 2 of the Airport Road, he did not know what he was talking about. Because you see, Madam Speaker, he's outdated. But again, Madam Speaker, this government saw a need. No other government saw that need, but this Labour Party administration, to develop Lot 2 of the Airport Road, to provide easier access to the Melville Airport. But what is more important for me, Madam Speaker, is that the majority of this road traverses through my constituency from Pokase all the way to Bells. And the residents of Bells are very pleased with what the government has done on this road. Because we recall Johnson Drygo, the member for Pokase Bruce, the state that this road was in. Mr. Baptiste, the senator from Marigot, you recall 2 vehicles could not pass on the road. But now we have a highway that you can reach to the airport in less than half an hour. And again, it was this Labour Party administration which went, received the monies, and ensured that works were done to completely rehabilitate that road. But, Madam Speaker, let me just say in closing that we are in an election season. And again, we are at the crossroads when a decision has to be made, a choice. And I am sure, Madam Speaker, that the majority of Dominicans, when they sit at their homes and they reflect on what this Labour Party administration has done, in no uncertain terms, Madam Speaker, they will not be second-guessing, but they will return the Dominica Labour Party under the leadership of Roosevelt Skerrit back into office with a larger majority. And rest assured, Madam Speaker, and those of you listening to my voice, that the St. Joseph constituency will be returned with the Dominica Labour Party with an increased majority. So let them talk. Who want to talk, let them talk. But when they came on the ground on the 5th of May, or the 4th of May, they got a true reflection of what is taking place in St. Joseph. And that is why the senator had to end up crying. That is why she ended up crying, because she saw a true reflection. You cannot want to represent people when you have never been with people. And the people of the St. Joseph constituency will teach them a lesson that they will never forget, Madam Speaker. And so, Madam Speaker, let them talk. But at the end of the day, I remain focused, I remain committed, I remain dedicated to a cause to ensure that I continue to represent my constituency with pride, with dignity. It is a tremendous responsibility, Madam Speaker, one that I never take for granted, one that has been bestowed upon me by the residents of the St. Joseph constituency. I am proud to speak on their behalf. I am proud to represent them here in Parliament. And I will not walk out on them, Madam Speaker. I will not walk out on them. But I will sit and I will bring the issues that they have raised. And over the next week and a half, Madam Speaker, I will be having town hall meetings in all of the communities of my constituency to ensure that we can sit and discuss the budget and see how best, as a community and a constituency, we can chart the way forward to ensure that we receive all of the development that we deserve. And Madam Speaker, before I sit, I also want to send a message to our young people. Because our young people, the youth population in Dominica, is also critical. And many times, young people, you will hear the naysayers saying all kinds of things, making all sorts of outlandish statements and remarks. But young people, you have the potential. You have a responsibility to yourselves as well and to your nation to ensure that you place in position leaders who are responsible, leaders who have left a track record of productivity, leaders who you can see as a role model and who you want to emulate, leaders who you believe will set an example for you young people. So you also have a choice to make. And I am certain, Madam Speaker, that the majority of young people in this country, when the time is right, will have no fear, will have no reservations in electing the Dominica Labour Party back into office again. Because we have worked on behalf of the young people, and we will continue to work on behalf of our young people. Because we are a caring government who understands the need of our young people. And so, Madam Speaker, God bless the Commonwealth of Dominica, and God bless the Dominica Labour Party. Thank you very much.
May I begin? Madam Speaker, let me join those who preceded me in this 2014-2015 budget debate. Madam Speaker, I too am very proud to be part and parcel of a party that has made significant sacrifice to bring this economy and this country to where it is today. Madam Speaker, I also join my friend, the parliamentary representative of the Salibia constituency, who will be demitting office very soon. And also my very good friend, my neighbor, that is the parliamentary representative of the Wesley constituency, who too will be demitting office. So, Speaker, if you are here for
the next new term, you might not see our presence in this parliament. That is as representative of the Peebush constituency, the Salibia constituency, and the Wesley constituency. But that does not mean, Madam Speaker, that we are going to deviate from the politics, that we are going to turn our backs on the people that we have represented for such a long time. That doesn't mean that we are going to stop contributing to social development in our respective communities. So we will be part and parcel of the developmental program of the Dominica Labour Party government. Madam Speaker, I wish now to commend the Honorable Prime Minister for his tenacious and magnanimous character, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this gentleman has a stamina. I do not know where he got it from. And I have not seen anybody in this country who can parallel the stamina that the Prime Minister has. And Madam Speaker, he has done well for the country. And it is time that persons must give Jack his jacket and Jacqueline her lipstick. It is time that persons must be genuine and recognize the performance of anybody, and to applaud people for the good deeds that they have done. And Madam Speaker, when I hear the opposition criticizing unnecessarily, I ask myself the question, what is the motive? Because, Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister is going an extra mile to move this country to the next level. Madam Speaker, I need, with the same breath, to extend gratitude to the Ministry of Finance, because the Financial Secretary, along with a good staff members, they are doing, a magnificent job to ensure that we maintain prudence in the financial management of this country. Madam Speaker, I also to recognize and to applaud Mr. Edward Lambert. Mr. Speaker, this man is unassuming, but he is a very smart gentleman. And I need to recognize him because he has been one of the architects for the creation of all the budgets that we have presented in this Parliament. And Madam Speaker, we need to give people their flowers while they are alive, before they depart to eternal rest. Madam Speaker, it would be remiss of me not to make mention of my Ministry of Agriculture and Forestry, because they have worked well with me. My former PS is right here, Mr. Carrot, and now we have Mr. Gis, very cooperative gentleman, along with the staff of the Ministry of, his staff that is in the administrative section of the ministry. I also need to recognize and to applaud the efforts and the cooperation and the diligence of Mr. Brumant, the Director of Agriculture, and also his staff members, and also the Director of Forestry, that is Mr. Burton, and his staff members. You know, we have been collaborating, Madam Speaker, and without commitment to the job and dedication, Madam Speaker, there is no way that we will be able to achieve the objectives and the goals that we have set for ourselves for this beautiful nature island of ours. Madam Speaker, the budget. I listened, Madam Speaker, to the leader of the opposition, Honorable Hector John, while he presented his alternative budget to the House. Madam Speaker, I have never heard something like that before in my whole life. This has been the worst, Madam Speaker, of his budget response while in his capacity as leader of the opposition. Madam Speaker, there was absolutely nothing of substance in his presentation, Madam Speaker. Now I have come to the realization why the leader of the UWP had its own budget presentation. Because they anticipated that the gentleman would not be able to present adequately in the House of Parliament in the absence of the leader of the UWP. Madam Speaker, it is pathetic, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, in the same vein, Madam Speaker, I think that if we are together in any group, in any organization, in any kind of fraternity, Madam Speaker, it is incumbent on every member of the group to lend support to ensure that what we produce is a collective effort and it is recognized. Madam Speaker, they have left the young man on his own to grope in the night, Madam Speaker. They have not given him any assistance to present in the House. Madam Speaker, the young man leads from the back and not at the front. You know, it's very unfortunate, and I really feel sorry for him because he should be much more diligent than that, you know, as a university graduate. And I have come to the conclusion, you know, this is exactly why the UWP has discarded the leader of the opposition. Madam Speaker, I just hope that the constituents of Salisbury are vigilant and they are looking at the kind of treatment that the UWP party, okay, is given to the parliamentary representative for Salisbury who also is the leader of the opposition and an integral part of the United Workers' Party. And that it is a shame, Madam Speaker. It is a shame that the young man has been left on his own, Madam Speaker, and that this has retarded, Madam Speaker, and shortchanged his performance in the House of Parliament. Madam Speaker, I do hope that the people of Salisbury, at the right time, will take the appropriate action, Madam Speaker, to put someone in position who will be able to give proper and adequate representation on the behalf of the Salisbury constituents, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the budget, well-rounded budget, intelligently crafted budget, Madam Speaker. And this budget, Madam Speaker, responds to the pragmatic situation on the ground, Madam Speaker. It looks at the national issues, the problems that we have faced here, Madam Speaker, socio-economically, Madam Speaker. It looks at the exogenous shocks, Madam Speaker. It looks at the current events in relation to what is really happening in the entire world today. And the government crafted a budget that will ensure that it insulates the people of Dominica from both exogenous and endogenous shocks, Madam Speaker. And I need to applaud the crafters of the budget for such, a fantastic piece of work. And Madam Speaker, this is not a fictitious budget. It's not utopian in nature, Madam Speaker. And it is not a pie-in-the-sky budget. Every single intervention in the budget, Madam Speaker, we have identified the financial resources, Madam Speaker, to ensure its implementation. So it's not utopian in nature, or it is pie in the sky, Madam Speaker. It is a real budget, Madam Speaker, looking at the practical situation on the ground in Dominica and responding to creating the enabling environment where people, businesses will be able to flourish and the country will be able to at least parallel many of the other flourishing countries in the world. That's my vision, and I think this is the vision of the Dominica Labour Party. Madam Speaker, the historical review. Madam Speaker, I want you to come with me, Madam Speaker. I want to hold your hands, Madam Speaker. And I want you to come with me, but fear no more. You will be safe, Madam Speaker, because I'll have my shield and my sword to defend you. Because you will be traveling with me onto hostile territory, Madam Speaker. Wow. And I know the inhabitants don't like you. But, Madam Speaker, be not afraid. If God is with us, who can be against us, Madam Speaker? So, Madam Speaker, let's two of us go back in the past. Wow. So imagine that we are going back in the past. And we are going to revisit, Madam Speaker, the budget addresses delivered by the United Workers' Party. Madam Speaker, and Madam Speaker, I went through the budget addresses last night. I went to sleep this morning about 3 o'clock, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, the United Workers' Party pride themselves to be the People's Party, the Farmers' Party, the Teachers' Party, Madam Speaker. But, Madam Speaker, they told us that they had the remedy to transform the economy of this country, Madam Speaker. That was after they won the election in 1995, they took over from the Dominica Freedom Party. But, Madam Speaker, that did not happen. We saw throughout the period, Madam Speaker, that the economy was sluggish. It was intractable, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, if I have to zero in on agriculture, Madam Speaker, because the United Workers' Party boasted to the entire country that they could transform agriculture in this country, Madam Speaker, and ensure that agriculture contributes meaningfully to GDP. But, Madam Speaker, that did not happen. And I'm very happy that my friend has just entered here. Because it wasn't his fault. It wasn't his fault. He exonerated himself, Madam Speaker, by coming over to the Dominica Labour Party. Because he realized that his colleagues were not listening to him. This is why they brought the economy of this country in a worse state than they got it from the Dominica Freedom Party. And, Madam Speaker, I always knew him as a Labourite, and I knew that they did not like him. I knew they did not like him. And he left just in time, Madam Speaker, or else, Madam Speaker, he would be one of those, Madam Speaker, on the list for elimination. Okay? So he left just in time. And you're welcome in the Dominica Labour Party. We will look after you. This is the party of people, the party with a godly heart. Madam Speaker, in terms of agriculture, Madam Speaker, in the 1995 budget address delivered by my friend, Honorable Timothy, Minister of Health. And, Madam Speaker, I want to read. Because the United Workers' Party told me, they tarnished my name all over the place, that I've been the worst Minister of Agriculture in Dominica. That's what they said. That's what they said. They said that the agricultural sector in this country has moved from bad to worse. But I want to vindicate myself today. I want to vindicate myself today. And also to vindicate the Dominica Labour Party that this is a misrepresentation of the truth, Madam Speaker. And, Madam Speaker, it is right here. Let us look at that. Let's read this on page 3 of his budget address. In 1994, the agricultural sector registered negative real growth. Overall, output for the agriculture sector declined by 3.4%, with agriculture's contribution to real GDP for 1994 estimated at 22.49%. The decline is attributed largely to low banana crop yield falling export earnings, financial weak support institutions, and the failure to link the production initiatives to critical marketing initiatives with added emphasis on shipping. So, Madam Speaker, they recognized that agriculture was dropping. And, Madam Speaker, that was in 1995. Let's look at, Madam Speaker, 1996 to 1997. Madam Speaker, page 3 again of the budget. Foreign exchange earnings from bananas, which peaked at $103.7 million in 1988, continued as its steady decline, reaching $46 million in 1995 from $55.63 million in 1994. Overall, agricultural production is estimated to have fallen by about 20% in 1995, compared to a decline of 3.4% in 1994. So, Madam Speaker, we are seeing the spiraling downwards, or the downward spiral of the sector. Madam Speaker, are you still with me? Yes, so we are there. We are there. In 1998 to 1999 of the UWP's administration, on page 5 this time, in the agricultural sector, in spite of strong growth of the fishing subsector, the overall growth rate slipped some 3% point, some 5 percentage points. This was mainly due to continuing adjustment of the banana industry to the emerging conditions in the global marketplace, as well as weather conditions which affected farmer output. So, Madam Speaker, again we see a decline. Madam Speaker, in 1999 and 2000, Madam Speaker, on page 3 of the budget, growth was led primarily by a 26% increase in manufacturing, exports, and improved performances by the public utilities, banking, insurance, the transport sectors, all of which grew at a faster rate than the overall economy. The agricultural sector declined about 1.2% as a result of drop again in banana production. So, Madam Speaker, the agricultural sector never performed satisfactorily during the reign of the United Workers' Party government. Madam Speaker, that's the gospel truth, Madam Speaker. And he was Prime Minister, Madam Speaker, the man that represented the farmers of this country, but never divulged the information, knowing that not many farmers listen to the budget address. Not many farmers can understand the language, Madam Speaker, in these documents, Madam Speaker. So they were of the opinion, Madam Speaker, that all is well with the agricultural sector, and the agricultural sector was a major contributor to GDP, Madam Speaker. So they continued fooling the people of this country, giving them false impression of the performance of the agricultural sector and, by extension, the economy of this country. And that is why, Madam Speaker, the people understood that and they threw them out. And, Madam Speaker, when the Dominica Labour Party and the Freedom Party formed the coalition, Madam Speaker, we met an economy, Madam Speaker, in serious trouble. Serious trouble, Madam Speaker. And we had, Madam Speaker, to approach the IMF and to embark on a program of adjustment and stabilization, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, we succeeded. We succeeded, Madam Speaker, in achieving the objectives, Madam Speaker, of the program to stabilize the economy of this country. Madam Speaker, it was a very bitter pill to swallow. Very, very bitter. And this is why today, Madam Speaker, because I was there, I witnessed it, Madam Speaker. You know, because I went to every nook and cranny of this country, approached every sector of the society to ensure that we convince Dominicans we do not have a choice. It's either we take it or we die, Madam Speaker. It's a do or die situation. And Dominicans, Madam, notwithstanding boots on the ground, notwithstanding that the opposition was on the rampage to destabilize, continue destabilizing the economy of this country. Continue putting civil disobedience, Madam Speaker, in this country, Madam Speaker. The people, the public servants rejected the call from the UWP, Madam Speaker, to accept the package of stabilization and adjustment program. And I need today, Madam Speaker, to thank all of them. All of them. The farmers, the civil servants, the construction workers, all of them who understood that Dominica belongs to me. Dominica belongs to all of us. And that they all decided that we are going to pool resources, pool our efforts, pool our ideas, Madam Speaker, to bring back this country on a sound footing. Madam Speaker, and I am quite elated that I was part and parcel, Madam Speaker, of the people who were involved in bringing, fiscal prudence and good management practices, Madam Speaker, to this beautiful country of ours. And today, Madam Speaker, it's an envy of all other sister islands in the Caribbean. But, Madam Speaker, the program bore fruits. It bore fruits, Madam Speaker. We stabilized the economy. We experienced growth, throughout all those years. We reduced poverty. Employment was created, Madam Speaker. Economic activities expanded. We had socio-economic conditions of people improved. So Dominica restored its credit trustworthiness, Madam Speaker, in the entire world. We saw a better investment climate emerged. In aggregate, Madam Speaker, Dominica was totally transformed, Madam Speaker. And during that period of time, the stabilization and adjustment program, Madam Speaker, it was so difficult to restore the financial status of this country that we lost 2 prime ministers. And may their soul rest in peace. Honorable Roosevelt Douglas, Madam Speaker, and also Honorable Pierre Charles. Both lost their lives, because of the seriousness and strenuous nature of this exercise. But, Madam Speaker, beyond 2004, every nook and cranny saw the light. The achievements are arguably unprecedented, Madam Speaker, in the history of this country. Housing, Madam Speaker. We saw an explosion in housing, Madam Speaker. It used to hurt my heart, Madam Speaker. It used to hurt my heart when I would see, Madam Speaker, people living in substandard conditions, housing conditions, Madam Speaker. And today, many people can boast that they comfortably that, the air is not entering or rain is not wetting them, Madam Speaker. And they have their toilets indoor. They do not have to go outside in the rain, in the dew, Madam Speaker, in the cold to go to the toilet. And many of them have their kitchen inside, Madam Speaker, which facilitated them. So, Madam Speaker, this government has done well. Physical infrastructure, Madam Speaker, again, unprecedented, Madam Speaker. No other government in the history of this country has invested so much in physical infrastructure. We have roads in this country that can parallel roads in the United States of America, roads in England, Madam Speaker. And we have just started because we are going to invest on the East Coast Road. And also, Madam Speaker, the road from Portsmouth to Hatton Garden, Madam Speaker, needs to be completely, I would not say rehabilitated, but it needs to be redeveloped, Madam Speaker, because we need widening to take place, and we need all the single-lane bridges, Madam Speaker, to be transformed to double-lane bridges. Madam Speaker, in the tourism industry, Madam Speaker, in education, Madam Speaker, in health, in agriculture, no other previous government, Madam Speaker, can compare with the amount of investment, the amount of work that this government has done. So, Madam Speaker, there is absolutely no hesitation when the time comes for the people of this country to tell this government, all is yours. And I anticipate that day when the people of this country will go to the polls, Madam Speaker, and say, Skerrit, Dominica Labour Party, you have passed the test. And I am going now to give you your certificate of achievement by putting that cross next to the shoe, which represents the Dominica Labour Party. And Madam Speaker, I think we have invested too much in education. Too much in education, Madam Speaker, for Dominicans to waste their votes on a gentleman who did not stay at school. He was a truant. And Madam Speaker, I'm talking, the leader of the United Workers' Party, Madam Speaker, I'm not calling names, the leader of the United Workers' Party, Madam Speaker, assuming that the man left school, Madam Speaker, at about 15 years? 15. How old is he now? I'm Tim. You know him well. Huh? He's about 55. So, Madam Speaker, the gentleman had, let's look at it in a very conservative 55 years. So, 40 years, Madam Speaker. He had 40 years to go to school. 40 long years is a long time for the gentleman to go to school. Well, in fact, go to school, Madam Speaker. Okay? At least to achieve a certificate, to achieve a diploma, to achieve a first degree, to achieve a master's degree, and up to his doctoral degree. He failed miserably. And today, he is presenting himself to the people of this country after this government has made so much investment to upgrade standards in education so that every single household will have a university graduate. This would be a shame, Madam Speaker. It would be a shame, Madam Speaker, that would permeate every single sister island and the entire world, Madam Speaker, in this country. and send the message to Dominica. What is it are you all doing? What is it are you all doing? After all that investment, you mean you put a man without a certificate, not as the Prime Minister, not even a GCE, Madam Speaker, all right, as the Prime Minister of the Commonwealth of Dominica. It would be a shame, Madam Speaker, on Dominicans, and a disgrace on Dominicans. I need to talk about that, Madam Speaker, and I am and I am looking very, very, carefully. I'm waiting for this election to call, Madam Speaker, so that I see what the people of Dominica will do, Madam Speaker. And my expectation is that the people of Dominica will give their undivided, unanimous support to the Dominica Labour Party. Madam Speaker, I know I have a lot to say. I know time moving. Okay, the Peebush constituency, Madam Speaker, I need to talk about the Peebush constituency. You yourself have been hearing, Madam Speaker, okay, that the propaganda is Matthew has done nothing for the Peebush constituency. It's pathetic, Madam Speaker. It's inconceivable, Madam Speaker. I just cannot believe. Why would people be so dishonest? Madam Speaker, can I use dishonest? Why would people be so dishonest not to like the truth and to speak the truth? What do they lose from speaking the truth, Madam Speaker? And Madam Speaker, I need to tell Dominicans, Madam Speaker, I need to tell, I don't care, even though I don't have enough time to speak on agriculture, but I need to tell Dominicans right here in this parliament what my successes have been in the Peebush constituency, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, let me start with Benz. Resurfacing of the Simon Road, $10,113.60. Resurfacing of the entire road, including drainage, that is Lovers Lane in Benz, $18,346. In Anslime, construction of the road leading to the port, $30,000. In Anslime, again, rehabilitation of the bridge, $16,000. In Asolda, construction of the storm drain, $26,000. In Benz, commencement of the construction of the Benz Road, $120,000. In Quetplezi, construction of road, $73,846. Benz again. Anslime Health Center, constructed under my friend stewardship, $200,000. That is the construction of the new building. New water system in Benz, Madam Speaker, $5.2 million. Construction of the feeder road in Ansolda, $79,250. Completion of the Benz Road, $160,000. Housing assistance, Madam Speaker, $331,000. Locker rooms, $120,000. Public convenience in Anslime, $60,000. Maturing road and water supply, $134,826. Ben School renovation, $103,557.50. Ben School roof repairs to be done, $155,000. Ben's Back Road, resurfacing of the Ben's Back Road, $180,000. Madam Speaker, that's it for Ben's. And this excludes, Madam Speaker, the scholarships, Madam Speaker, the uniform assistance and book assistance. So education is not included in that package. Madam Speaker, in Peebush, Madam Speaker, construction of the public convenience, $19,000 in Providence. In Providence Road Project, $227,000. The Wasco Water Project in Providence, $45,980. The Hadcourt in Providence, $100,000. The Dawasco Water Supply in Mopac, $892,280. Providence Resource Center Construction, $220,000. Riviera Crossing, $125,000. The School Fencing and Stage Project in Paybush, $80,000. Rehabilitation of Mopac Road, $473,000. And we also rehabilitated the road from Sus to Paybush, which costed in the region of about $300,000 to $400,000. Madam Speaker, the Paybush Primary School, we invested $42,054 to do repairs and renovation. And in 2014, we invested $129,528. In Paybush again, Lawi Banan Road, that is in the construction of the road in Mopac, $61,633. The housing assistance we received in Paybush, Madam Speaker, $414,000. Mopac Back Road, $220,000. Belmania Road, $75,000. Drain construction in Paybush, $75,000. And now, Madam Speaker, we are going to Calabishi. Quetcoco Road, $180,000. Dubic Road, Madam Speaker, in Calabishi, $10,016. And the basketball court, Madam Speaker, we also spent $100,180. The Calabishi Resource Center, $458,790. Savon Pie Road Project, $103,921. Calabishi Ridge Road, $374,955. Cocoye Road, Madam Speaker, that's a feeder road, $137,700. Point Baptist Road, Madam Speaker, we also spent $310,741. Calabishi Flat, that's it, a platform for meetings and so on, we spent $30,000. The public convenience, we also built it. I don't have a figure for it. Housing assistance in Calabishi, we amounts to $360,487.29. Calabishi John Baptist Road, $100,000. And the Farm Road in Calabishi, $500,000. So, Madam Speaker, in aggregate, Madam Speaker, if we aggregate infrastructure, Madam Speaker, we invested in the Paybush constituency $5,677,750.35. In water supply, Madam Speaker, the Dominica Labour Party invested $6,173,452.79. Housing, Madam Speaker, in the Paybush constituency, we invested $1,105,487.29. Madam Speaker, as I've said, education is excluded from that number. So in total, Madam Speaker, the Dominica Labour Party, over the years, have invested in the Paybush constituency $12,956,690.43, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, I need also to tell you, health is not included in that number. And Madam Speaker, all those who have gone to the Red Clinic, it's not reflected in this number, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, if we have to add education, health, and so on, we can come up with a figure of an investment of about $14 million if we have to round it up, Madam Speaker, in the Paybush constituency. Madam Speaker, I am not saying that much more could not have been done. Much more could have been done. But Madam Speaker, I am satisfied that we got an acceptable piece of the cake. And Madam Speaker, the Pebush constituency is not the only constituency in Dominica. We have 21 constituencies, and there are constituencies in Dominica with much more issues, much more problems, Madam Speaker, than the Pebush constituency. And there are also constituencies that are much more vulnerable in Dominica than the Pebush constituency. So I need to thank the Dominica Labour Party. I need to thank my colleagues and the Prime Minister for the investment that they have made in transforming lives and the physical landscape of the Pebush constituency. Thank you very much. Madam Speaker, agriculture, the state of agriculture. Madam Speaker, we held the first agri-forest festival in Dominica, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, the objective of the festival was to restore confidence in the farmers, to educate the farmers with respect to what needs to be done to make farming for them an enjoyable profession, an enjoyable occupation, and a profitable one. To stimulate youth so that to participate actively in agriculture, so that they will be in the future to replace the farmers who are expiring, Madam Speaker, and retiring in the agricultural sector, Madam Speaker. We held, Madam Speaker, one symposium, a youth symposium, and a farmers conference, Madam Speaker, to reveal to this Parliament, Madam Speaker, the attendance in both fora, Madam Speaker, exceeded our expectation. And Madam Speaker, you were there, Madam Speaker, and you saw it yourself. And you were amazed, Madam Speaker. And I saw the excitement in you, Madam Speaker, that you realized something was happening in the agricultural sector. And Madam Speaker, and I'm very happy that we held this festival, and I need to extend thanks to all those who were indirectly and directly involved in making it a success. Madam Speaker, we are on the pathway to economic prosperity, not economic regression, Madam Speaker. Right. Agriculture is central to expanding the economy. And this is exactly what, Madam Speaker, and this is exactly why we are investing so much in agriculture, to ensure that, it takes back its place, Madam Speaker, in contributing the most to GDP in this country. And Madam Speaker, even though I'm not there, Madam Speaker, certainly, Madam Speaker, my successor will ensure that this objective comes to. Madam Speaker, agriculture is so important, so central, Madam Speaker, in laying a platform for job creation. Speaker, we cannot deny that. And this is exactly what this government is going to do, strengthening the safety nets, Madam Speaker. And that's why, again, this government, even talking about safety nets, social safety nets, Madam Speaker, I do not think there is any other sister island that can compare, with the number of safety net programs to cushion, Madam Speaker, the adverse effects, that both the external and the internal forces, have on the people of this country. We need agriculture to be part of the solution, not part of the problem, Madam Speaker. Not part of the problem, Madam Speaker. I need, Madam Speaker, to inform all of us that, Madam Speaker, that agriculture is so central for food security, for poverty reduction, for economic activities, Madam Speaker, that all of us have to pool our resources to ensure that we maintain the integrity of agriculture in this country, and that agriculture produces in such a way that it continues to contribute meaningfully to the development of this country. Madam Speaker, in fact, we have moved agriculture to the next level. Madam Speaker, if I read to you the 2014 an aspect of the 2014-2015, Madam Speaker, budget address of the Prime Minister, Madam Speaker, to substantiate and to justify that this government is doing well in agriculture, notwithstanding what the critics have said. On page 7 of the budget address, the horticulture program introduced by government has been very successful and has been largely responsible for the growth in the agricultural sector in the past 5 years. The non-banana crop sector is estimated to have grown by 6.4% and 13% in 2011 and 2012 respectively. So, Madam Speaker, I'm satisfied that better can be done, but we are doing our very best, Madam Speaker, to move agriculture to the next level. Madam Speaker, I want to further substantiate the work that is being done in agriculture. I want to make mention, Madam Speaker, of the horticultural program, Madam Speaker. Because, Madam Speaker, we have, Mr. Speaker, we have increased productivity, we have increased production, Madam Speaker, we have increased, Madam Speaker, on the revenue and foreign exchange earnings, Madam Speaker, coming from the exportation of the goods or the fresh produce that we export, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I want to make a comparison between, Madam Speaker, production of four crops. We're looking at dashing, we're looking at yams, we're looking at grapefruits, we're looking at cabbage. In the UWP era, and compare it, Madam Speaker, with the production, Madam Speaker, in tons, Madam Speaker, in the Labour Party reign, Madam Speaker, from 2007 to 2011. And Madam Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I took the average, Madam Speaker, in dashing, the average production. The UWP, during UWP time, the average production in dashing, Madam Speaker, 11,768.6 tons, Madam Speaker. And when you compare that, Madam Speaker, to the period 2007 to 2011 under the Dominica Labour Party, we achieved production of 17,090 tons, Madam Speaker. You see the difference, Madam Speaker? Right. Madam Speaker, in yams, Madam Speaker, the UWP, Madam Speaker, the average production in yam during that period, 7,373 tons. The Dominica Labour Party, Madam Speaker, 7,986.2 tons. Grapefruits, Madam Speaker, grapefruits production, average, Madam Speaker, 13,816 tons. And the Dominica Labour Party, 23,001 tons. Madam Speaker, cabbage production, Madam Speaker, which you find is very close, Madam Speaker, 913 tons, 13.6 tons, and the Dominica Labour Party, 922.2 tons. So, Madam Speaker, we have exceeded production in every crop area when we do the comparative analysis between, Madam Speaker, production during the reign of the UWP and during the reign of the Dominica Labour Party. So, Madam Speaker, we've been doing well.
You have 3 minutes left.
3 minutes left. Wow. Now give me about 20 minutes. Yeah. No lunch for you all today.
Mr. Speaker, Mr. Speaker, I move that the Honourable Minister be given an additional 20 minutes to complete his presentation.
Seconded, Mr. Speaker.
It has been moved and seconded that Honourable Minister be given a further 20 minutes to complete his presentation. Those in favour? Those against? We continue.
Thank you very much, colleagues. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, agriculture is not without challenges, Madam Speaker. We have been experiencing many challenges. Black coca, Madam Speaker, the giant African snails, Madam Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have citrus greening, we have red palm mite. All these pests and diseases, Madam Speaker, plague the agricultural sector. But this government did not sit and allow the situation to escalate. We ensure that we invested, Madam Speaker, a lot of money, for example, in the black sigatoka, $1.2 million. The giant African snails, $110,000 to keep those diseases at bay. And Madam Speaker, I want to applaud this government for not turning a blind eye, Madam Speaker, on those pests and diseases, or, Madam Speaker, they will devastate the agricultural sector of this country. Notwithstanding that, Madam Speaker, during the period of the UWP, they had no black sigatoka. They had yellow sigatoka. No black sigatoka, they had no giant African snail, citrus greening, CTV disease, and so on. They had none of that, Madam Speaker. And notwithstanding that, Madam Speaker, we are performing satisfactorily in the agricultural sector. Climate change, Madam Speaker, is another challenge. But we have, to work with international organizations to ensure that, we adapt to the climate change and we mitigate the effects of the climate change. Am I correct, Minister? Right. And the Minister has substantial programs under his ministry to achieve those objectives. Madam Speaker, I'm going very quickly. Madam Speaker, we know, farmers, they sometimes, are hesitant, Madam Speaker, to adopt international standards, like SPS standards. This is a challenge for us here. And I want to call on to appeal on farmers, please stick to SPS standards, Madam Speaker. We live in a modern world, Madam Speaker, and we cannot do agriculture as we used to do it before. We have to be compliant, Madam Speaker, to the rules and regulations, Madam Speaker, internationally. Madam Speaker, we know that many farmers are not doing agriculture as a business. Again, I want to exhort, I want to encourage all of them to do agriculture as a business. This is the only way that they will be able to see benefits in the agricultural activities that they are engaged in. Madam Speaker, we have made lots of achievements in the sector. Onion production, we have introduced new crops, onion. I think we have produced about 10,000 pounds of onion. White potatoes, 100,000 tons, during this period, 2014 to 2015. Cocoa, Madam Speaker, which, it's cocoa. Which is a traditional crop, Madam Speaker. We are reintroducing it, Madam Speaker. So far, we have 50 acres of new cultivation. And we have rehabilitated about 100 acres of cocoa, Madam Speaker. And certainly the farmers are buying into the program. And I want to encourage them, Madam Speaker, to continue because cocoa fetches a high price on the international market. Similarly, coffee, Madam Speaker, the price of coffee, has gone up, Madam Speaker. And you know our coffee plant, Madam Speaker, is completed, Madam Speaker. Very soon it will be commissioned, Madam Speaker, and we expect to see about 750 jobs created, both directly and indirectly, Madam Speaker. Livestock, Madam Speaker, is an area, okay, in order for us to be able to reduce the meat import bill, or we can extend it to the food import bill, Madam Speaker, we have to ensure that we give attention to the livestock subsector in this country. And this is exactly what this government is doing, because we have invested $10.3 million, okay, in the construction of an abattoir, Madam Speaker. I heard the member for Salisbury, the leader of the opposition, lamenting over, the delay in construction, Madam Speaker. But we are assuring Dominicans that by and during the course of this year, Madam Speaker, that the facility, the abattoir, will be fully completed and operationalized, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, we expect to see the creation of 384 jobs, Madam Speaker, both directly and indirectly. Madam Speaker, I have already spoken about the horticultural programs. Although I have new information with respect to that, I'll skip it. Madam Speaker, the BAM. Madam Speaker, the BAM, is an EU-funded program in the amount of 15.27 million euros, Madam Speaker. And the BAM is a significant impetus, Madam Speaker, to the agricultural sector. Madam Speaker, because of the limitation of time, I will not go through, all the interventions that we expect to implement during the course of this fiscal year, Madam Speaker. And certainly, Madam Speaker, the feeder roads will be rehabilitated, Madam Speaker, because the agricultural sector cannot do without proper rehabilitated feeder roads, because we want to ensure that we move our fresh produce safely from farm to market. Madam Speaker, let me speak to the forestry division. Madam Speaker, because there are some people, with the opinion that forestry is not important. Okay, because forestry is neither here nor there. But Madam Speaker, I think that this is not true, because all of us who know about the contribution that forestry plays in all nations, because today, Madam Speaker, we see a lot of badlands in Haiti. The Haitians cut down all their forests for fuel, Madam Speaker. But contrary to Dominica, we have been conserving and protecting it, Madam Speaker. This is why today we are boasting of eco-tourism, Madam Speaker. Because without that, Madam Speaker, we would not have an eco-tourism destination. Madam Speaker, I want to talk about the Fort Shirley, the hostel-type facility to accommodate about 70 persons, Madam Speaker, and I want to applaud Mr. Honeychurch for the tremendous work that he has been doing there. For the Forestry Division has been engaged in environmental education, conservation and protection, micro-juicing facility in Jubla, especially to avoid crop depredation, because the parrots are eating, many of the farmers' oranges and grapefruits, Madam Speaker, and we have put this micro-juicing facility in Jubla to mitigate the effect of the tremendous problems that are caused by the parrots, especially the Jaco parrot. Madam Speaker, silviculture and agro-forestry, Madam Speaker, I have already informed the Forestry Division that they have to train persons to be able to use the forest in a sustainable way, Madam Speaker. We cannot have 66% of this country covered with forest, Madam Speaker, and we're not making good use of it, Madam Speaker. I have already told them that they must put the relevant interventions in place to ensure that Dominicans can live properly, Madam Speaker, by investing in agroforestry. White Equitable National Trail, Madam Speaker, longest trail in the entire Caribbean. It is an addition to the tourism product, Madam Speaker, and certainly, Madam Speaker, it contributes meaningfully to the development of the tourism sector and by extension the entire country. Madam Speaker, the agricultural and forestry budget, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, this year, Madam Speaker, this fiscal year, we intend to invest capital investment of $11.5 million in the agriculture forestry sector. Madam Speaker, recurrent expenditure in the amount of $9.5 million, Madam Speaker. And this government is investing 6.7% of the budget in agriculture, and I think this is acceptable, Madam Speaker. It could be more, Madam Speaker, but again, primarily because we want to maintain fiscal prudence, Madam Speaker, that we have to distribute the resources in such a way that every sector gets a piece of the cake. Madam Speaker, we intend to invest in the expansion of molecular laboratory, the purchase of machinery and equipment in the amount of $347,000. To invest in the development and the support of the pork and poultry subsector, $233,320. The feeder road improvement, Madam Speaker, which I've just spoken about, we have provided $5,750,000, Madam Speaker. The cocoa rehabilitation, which I've just spoken about, we are investing $573,614,000. Reconstruction of modern horticulture center, we are investing $248,400,000. Madam Speaker, and I want to take time to applaud the hard work of the Chinese workers at this facility, Madam Speaker. And I really need to also extend my most fervent gratitude to the government, of China for their extremely, great attention, Madam Speaker, to move agriculture to the next level in this country, Madam Speaker. And certainly, Madam Speaker, this is happening, Madam Speaker. The rehabilitation of trails and facilities, $180,000. The support to horticulture sector, supplies and materials, $500,000. Dominica Agricultural Center, Madam Speaker, this is a constituency. We are in $500,000. The management of Black Sikatoka, Madam Speaker, I heard the leader of the opposition lamented over that, Madam Speaker. But under the BAM facility, we are investing $1,795,000. The palm pest, Madam Speaker, to keep it at bay, we are investing $216,648. The amphibians captive breeding program, Madam Speaker, $46,981. The support to forest management, $10,800. Establishment of banana and non-banana crop, $42,525. Banana stabilization program, we are investing $575,000. And the improvement of genetic materials, Madam Speaker, this is with respect to the livestock subsector, we are investing $537,500. So, Madam Speaker, in aggregate, we are investing $11.5 million, Madam Speaker, in the economy of this country. Madam Speaker, in conclusion, Madam Speaker, the Labour Party government is here for the long haul. No one can dispute that. No one can dispute that, Madam Speaker. Notwithstanding what machinations, what kind of propaganda, lies, that are being propagated against us, Madam Speaker, I do not think it will be able, to prevent us from achieving the objectives that we have set for ourselves. We care for people, and God has put us here, Madam Speaker, to work for people and to ensure that, Madam Speaker, this country remains a zone of peace, not a zone of war, Madam Speaker. Dominicans are satisfied with the performance of the government and will show their gratitude at the right time. And Madam Speaker, you might be wondering, what is the right time and when is the right time, Madam Speaker. Okay, Madam Speaker, the Prime Minister knows when is the right time, Madam Speaker. We expect Dominicans, based on the performance of the Dominica Labour Party, Madam Speaker, to give their gratitude to the Dominica Labour Party. Madam Speaker, this budget is an excellent budget, Madam Speaker. The Prime Minister had also an excellent presentation, Madam Speaker. I applaud all and sundry, all those, Madam Speaker, in one way or the other that have contributed, Madam Speaker, to the crafting of this budget, Madam Speaker, and all those, Madam Speaker, that are interested in working with the Dominica Labour Party to move not only Matthew forward, or the Prime Minister forward, or Timothy forward, or Reggie forward, or the Speaker of the House forward, but to move Dominica and its citizens forward, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I have absolutely no hesitation, Madam Speaker, no reservation, Madam Speaker, to give my full support to the 2014-2015 budget. I want to extend my sincere thanks to my constituents, Madam Speaker. They have worked with me assiduously over a long period of time, Madam Speaker. Some of them have been wondering why I'm leaving, but Madam Speaker, I'm an old man, Madam Speaker. I need to go and rest myself. Madam Speaker, I have told them that. I told them I will still be with them. I'll still work with my successor, who, Madam Speaker, will win the Pebush seat and will also ensure that the deposit of the United Workers' Party candidate is retained by the Treasury of the Commonwealth of Dominica. Thank you, Madam Speaker. May God bless you. May God bless this Parliament. May God bless this wonderful country of ours. Thank you very much.
Madam Speaker, I move that the House be adjourned until Monday at 10 a.m. Madam Speaker.
It has been moved and seconded that this Honorable House be adjourned until Monday, the 28th of July at 10 a.m. Those in favor? Aye. Those against? The ayes have it. This Honorable House stands adjourned until Monday, the 28th of July at 10 a.m.